Hi there, everybody. I'm Alex from Seneca. Welcome along to this Seneca Learning webinar, Parents Get Ahead with Seneca Tutoring. I'm hoping everybody can hear me all. If not, please let me know in the old comment section. Yeah, we thought that this was a great time to put on a webinar specifically for parents about our tutoring options. Thanks so much for making the time to be here, first of all. We just thought it's the start of a new year. Even if students don't quite realize it yet, exams come around quite quickly. There is, of course, the ever-present threat of that teacher assessment looming in the distance, but it does look like exams are going ahead. So we are working on that basis. That said, even if you don't have a child in an exam year, it feels like everybody's got a lot of catching up to do. So I'm going to get into the presentation really soon. I'm going to keep it really brief just so that I can run through everything and not take up too much of your time. But it's worth saying that the benefits of tutoring have been proven time and time again. And in particular, online tutoring is really big these days. It's often viewed as more flexible, more easily accessible, and at no reduction in quality. And that's been borne out in surveys of both parents and, perhaps most importantly, students as well. So we thought, let's put on a webinar explaining how tutoring can help supercharge grades this year. So like I say, I'm going to keep it super brief and just run through what it is that Seneca Tutoring does, how it works. I'll give a little sort of live demo, a hands-on thing, just so that you can sort of see for yourself. And then at the end, we'll do a question and answer. So please use the live comments on the YouTube page, send in your questions, and I'll be sure to come to them at the end if we've not covered anything. It's worth saying as well that if you would like to have a more personal sort of one-to-one chat with me, I've posted a link to my calendar in the YouTube description of the video. And there you can book in a good time for me to give you a ring and we can have a chat about tutoring or anything else about Seneca. Happy to discuss any kind of progress. So with that started, I'm going to just share the screen and get going on the webinar. Great stuff. So what is Seneca Tutoring? Seneca Tutoring is two things. We do two different styles of tutoring. The first one is that we do what we call instant homework and revision support. Now, this is quite an interesting, innovative, slightly different way of delivering tutoring, I hope you'll see. I'll do a big demonstration of that just so that you know exactly what it is that we do. And then the second thing that we do is one-to-one online tutoring. Now, this is slightly more traditional, but it is nonetheless super impactful, really great for building confidence in learning and things like that. Now, it's important to say here that these two things can be accessed completely independently. You don't need one to get the other, but they do work fantastically together and they are quite different. So they suit maybe different types of student, depends what you want to get out of it really, what it is you want to achieve by tutoring. So without further ado, let's start with the first one. Instant homework and revision support. Now, in a single sentence, what this is a team of tutors ready to give instant support in any subject. So supposing that, a student was doing some homework, some revision, a maths paper, whatever it is, what they'll have access to in this subscription is a team of tutors at their fingertips, ready to answer any of their questions. So they can send in a maths problem, send in an English essay for feedback and marking, whatever it is, the tutors will write back with help. What's really important here is that there's absolutely no need to, buy in for maths, buy in for geography, for science, whatever it is. It's literally just one subscription to one system, and that covers every single one of your subjects with unlimited questions as well. So really ask away. What's super important with this actually is that you get 5 to 10 minute responses from tutors. We're really keen on making it that. 10 minutes is really the upper bound of that. Vast majority of the time, it's much quicker. That's so important for motivation, we found. You get stuck on something for 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, suddenly you stop working, you go on the Xbox, you go outside, whatever it is. And so it's really important to have these tutors at your fingertips to keep up working, to keep up revision. It's also really easily accessible. This can be done easily through a laptop or through a phone. And we have these tutors there ready to help straight after school. Usually on weekdays, they're 4:30 p.m. through 9 p.m. And on weekends, they're 1 till 7. And they go all the way through the holidays as well during the day. And as well as those unlimited questions, which are so helpful, we also get them to post video lessons in popular topics if you need a bit of a deeper dive. And we also in there have personalized timetables. So you can submit for, a timetable in time for a mock or a test or something. And if you want a little bit more structure, our tutors will put that together for you and make sure that that gets back to you within a few hours. Great stuff. So I'm just going to hop over and do a quick live demo of exactly how that works. So just share the screen again. So here is the the instant homework and revision support system. So you can see here on the left-hand side that all of the subjects are listed. So we've got biology, we've got business, we've got chemistry, computer science, whatever it is, it's there. All you need to do then is, supposing that I was doing some biology work, for instance, I can hop into here and ask a quick question. Absolute classic GCSE topic is something like, what are beta blockers? So I'll just send that in, and hopefully one of our tutors will be able to get back to us and we can see in action how this works. But whilst I give them time to type that out, it's worth just looking at the other things that are in here. So here are some of the video lessons that we do. We get our tutors to produce these on, popular topics. So we've got one here all about an Inspector Coles revision, another one about geography, plate tectonics, another one here about photosynthesis. And this is, easily accessible through this same system. And then the final thing, that third thing that we were speaking about, the personalized timetables, you can submit for one of those and you'll be sent something which looks rather like this. So this is one of the custom timetables. You can put in which subjects you'd like to do, which topics in those subjects you'd like to do, and for how long and how many weeks you'd like that timetable to run. So this one runs for 4 weeks and covers the 3 sciences. And you can see here that, week 1, for instance, we're doing biology higher. The topic is biogenetics, it's photosynthesis. And really nicely, this links you straight through to the Seneca website, where they can complete the course on that, the revision on that. And as soon as that's done, you can literally just hop over here and click completed, tick and cross as many of these as you've done, and work through this at your own pace, or rather at the pace of the timetable is to be hoped. So yeah, the final thing to say about this was probably we do try and create a bit of a community in here. There's loads and loads and loads of students, and we've got channels for sports and for films and things like that. So it can be quite a positive in reinforcing place in which there's lots of people asking lots of different questions about bits of the topic maybe you've missed or needs a bit more help with. So let's just hop back over to biology, and we can see Janice here, who's one of our science tutors, has got back to us and has said, let me take a look at that for you. Beta blockers are drugs given to lower blood pressure. I'm going to save you reading all that out because somehow beta blockers are even less interesting than they sound, but are nonetheless a vital part of the biology course. So yeah, that's essentially how it works. And it must be said, this is not a particularly inventive way of using this. Obviously, it's good to just get a definition and get a 6-mark answer or whatever it is. But we have students who send in pictures of their work, essays, drawings that they've done, essays that they've typed out, asking for help and resources and being linked to videos and things. So it really can be quite a productive enterprise. So yeah, that's the first thing that we do. And I'm just going to now move on to this one-to-one tutoring. So just hop back onto this PowerPoint. Great stuff. Nice, that's better. Okay, so one-to-one tutoring. This is the second thing that we do. So this is slightly more self-explanatory. It's one-to-one tuition run in a virtual classroom. Now, this is one-to-one time with one of our tutors. They're all graduated from something like Oxbridge or top Russell Group universities, places like Imperial College London and the like. And what we do is we can take your child and match them up with one of our tutors. There's a really good fit. And what we find actually is this is such a good way to get enthusiastic about the subject, because these tutors have, studied their subject at a very high level. They've gone on to do degrees in the subject. And so they're really fantastic at relating why it matters. They're really fantastic at relating how it's important in the real world and things like that. So even if it's a subject, that the student maybe doesn't like so much, maybe just wants to pass, it is actually quite a good thing to get into. We have a really strict here one tutor, one student policy, it's worth saying. I've spoken to so many parents who have been so annoyed with other tutoring companies they've used in the past, who have chopped and changed tutors. We really don't like doing that. Where subject knowledge allows, it's absolutely one tutor to one student. And we think the quality of the lessons is improved so much through that, because they build up a really fantastic working relationship. They get to know each other a bit. The tutor and the student start to know, the weaknesses and strengths where need to improve. And, the design of the lessons becomes quite organic after a few weeks. It's really positive. What's really important as well is the vast majority of our tutors are sort of like in their 20s. So they're not intimidating in the slightest. And we found that's fantastic for confidence, because it's much easier to ask of somebody you see week in, week out, who is not intimidating. Oh, I don't understand that. I don't get this. How can you go through that again? Than it is to ask, a teacher in a class of 30 people. So we've really found that some students who have done one-to-one tutoring have really come out of their shells. And so much about doing exams is about confidence, having the confidence just put down whatever it is, even if you don't know if it's right, you might pick up a few marks. We also here have complete flexibility. Whenever we run these tutoring sessions, more often than not, they're an hour long, but there's no need for them to be an hour if you wanted more or less. We can run them on weekends as well as weekdays, and we make them completely tailored. So if the student comes to us and says, I need a lesson on this, I need a lesson on that, I really don't get this, I've done a mock that didn't go as well as it should have done, then we're quite happy for them to send that into the tutor, into me, whoever it is, and we can design those sessions around them. All of our tutors have the requisite knowledge to be able to just put on the sessions like that. So absolutely fine just to work with whatever needs the biggest help. And the final thing to say about this is that we run this in quite innovative virtual classroom technology. So we have a system, it's really easy to use actually. You just click a link, you're in the classroom with just the tutor and you, and you can see the same screen, you can go through past papers, go through questions, draw on the screen, talk to each other. And what's really nice as well is the system actually records the lessons and takes a digital transcript, which makes them fantastic to revise from, because the student can go back in, look at the what they've gone through, search for certain bits, certain explanations, and it can be really, have an effect into the longer term that way. So the final thing to say is which one's going to work for you. They do kind of attack different sides, if you like. The first one, the instant homework and revision support, we found is really fantastic for broad-based coverage in all your subjects, because it's just one subscription and covering everything. It's fantastic day-to-day crutch to help with any kind of homework and revision. It's at your fingertips, easily accessible, quick responses. It really becomes quite an indispensable tool for a lot of the students we have in there as they go through their education. On the one-to-one side, better for a deeper dive into a specific subject. Perhaps there's a targeted intervention needed in maths, for instance, or if you really need a maths grade to get into a university that you really want to go to or something like that. A specific subject, it works better for that. And for subject that you want a deeper dive into. It's also great for exam technique and practice, because the tutor and the student can literally sit there, go through line by line a past paper or something, looking at the language, understanding how to answer it. And as I was saying, it's really fantastic for confidence and motivation, you know, building back up from maybe not getting a great grade or something like that. Together, though, they do work fantastically well together because you can both have that day-to-day support and the deeper dives when you need it. We're quite happy to do online tutoring, either a one-to-one tutoring, either, you know, weekly or on an ad hoc basis if there's a test coming up. And we can use the fact that we can see everything in the instant homework and revision support to help tailor the one-to-one even more, to use it as another data point through which we can make the one-to-one tutoring even more personalized. So yeah, I think that's everything I've got to say, actually. So thank you so much for listening. And yeah, if anybody's got any questions at all, please do stick them in the YouTube comments. And if not, then yeah, it was great to talk to you. And if you don't want to ask any questions in the YouTube comments right now, then as I say, my calendar is in the description of the video, so do just book in with me and we can have a chat one-to-one. So just looking at some comments here. Great question. So how much it costs for one-to-one tutoring? So yeah, it's just based on an hourly rate. So it depends upon the level of education though. So A-levels are a bit more expensive than GCSE. But the prices tend to be ranging from, at the bottom, £35 per hour of tutoring, and then at the top, between £45 and £50 per hour of tutoring for like the most popular A-level subjects, for instance. But I'm quite happy to discuss that with you if you book a call and we can arrange something, some taster sessions or something like that. And then the other one, the instant messaging tutoring, that one is in one of our packages on the website, which I've put a link to in the description. And that one is just $29.99 per month if you buy it in a yearly subscription. So this is a good question. From what year do you recommend students join? Is it a monthly subscription? And can you try and see how you get on? So it's a bit of a difference between the two of them. So the shortest time over which you can buy the instant messaging system is 4 months. So you could try it for 4 months before committing for any longer. In terms of the one-to-one tutoring, there we're literally happy to be as flexible as you like. We can put on 1 session, 2 sessions, see whether you get along with the tutor, see if the format works for you. We're quite happy to do that. There's no need to sort of get locked into anything. So yeah, there's a slight division between the two. But there is a mechanism by which you can, you know, try things for a little bit less time if need be. Yes, you absolutely can listen to this meeting later. It will be on this same YouTube channel, all recorded. And yeah, you should be able to just access it straight away. And then finally, I think, is there a discount for more than one child? There isn't, so far as I know, on the on either of them. It's just on a per child basis. Great stuff. So unless anybody has anything else to ask, I think that's Tracy. Assignment feedback. I'm not sure necessarily what you're getting at there, but in terms of like tailoring things for exam boards, that can be done completely because all of the students, the tutors rather, have degrees in their subject, so they have more than enough requisite knowledge to apply any answers to any exam board. And it's worth, just literally, it's fine to just tell the tutors, oh, by the way, this question, this assignment is for AQA, this is for EdXL, this is for OCR. We cover all of these different exam boards on the normal Seneca website as well. So yeah, we do cover the whole range, and it's fine just to let us know, and we can make sure that the tutors tailor their responses to that exam board. And then the final thing here, can you get a discount for more than one subject tuition? So on the 2 different ones, on the instant messaging one, that's just one subscription that covers every single subject. And then on the one-to-one tutoring, it's not really bought on a per subject basis. Rather, it's just hourly. So you could come to me and say, I want to do 20 hours of tutoring, for instance. And then we can make them 20 maths hours, 10 science hours, 10 maths hours, whatever it is, whatever arrangement. That's absolutely fine. So it's literally just like on an hourly basis in principle, in whichever you like. So I think that is everything. I'll just give it another 30 seconds in case anybody's got anything else. But as I say, if you do have any more questions, do book a call with me, or I'll send you a quick follow-up email after this, and you can literally just reply to that and I'll get it and I'll come back to you. Great stuff. So thanks so much, everybody, for coming along. And yeah, I hope to speak to you soon. Bye-bye.